Right, this is a book called The Fox, the Whale and the Wardrobe. I should point out that when we met Belinda here at Lisa Kelly's workshop, we kept on meeting her. And I'd invariably be seated across from Belinda. And Lisa Kelly would let us loose in 5 minutes and go, right, write a poem on that. And Belinda would invariably come up with an almost perfect poem, whereas I would come up with almost nothing. So in total awe to be on the same stage as her and to read her. Such a privilege and a pleasure. Right, this is called The Ball Goes AWOL. I only went AWOL in my life twice. One when my girlfriend was sick, and the other time was when I had my first radio programme. And I told the Sergeant Major that I needed to be off on Thursday to do my radio programme. And he said, yeah, all right, Dempsey, all right. And then he said, poetry me bollocks. And he put me on duty. So the only way I could do the programme was to go AWOL. So AWOL means a lot to me. Then you come home and they work you from morning to night for 2 weeks. Oh. So ball goes AWOL. Time, that great retriever, came back with this memory in his mouth and dropped it at my feet. And I said, what is it, boy? What is it? And it was this insignificant moment from 1963 when I'm 7 and I'm playing handball against my uncle's whitewashed wall with Sam the collie trying to join in. And I said, why did you bring me back this little piece of apparent insignificance? And I realised that there was no difference between the little boy I was, the dog, the ball, the wall, the sky, the birds, and we're all fused into that one moment. And I thought, that's the importance of it. That focused concentration where I couldn't separate myself from the rest of the universe. So, ball goes AWOL. The ball is laughing. It is having a great time being thrown against the wall. Whee! Screams its trajectory. Parabola, 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 hollers the ball. I throw it towards the wall and the ball throws it back at me. Ball and wall and I having a fine old time. Again, again, shout both ball and wall. It is a fine thing for a summer day to contain. Human, ball and wall, all enjoying the moment intensely. Memory will warp this reality and morph it into the movie, continually replaying as if all happiness exists in this little snippet of time and space. Sam the collie leaps through the air and with perfect timing catches the ball in his mouth. Ah, ah, screams the ball. Damn, damn, shouts the wall. Hey, I holler, hey! But Sam is gone, smiling all over himself. Where he drops the ball, I never get to know. The ball has gone AWOL for well nigh over 50 years now. The wall is no longer standing. Sam is now only a black and white photo. Only I and the moment keep happening in the attic of my head. I should say that's the poem I like doing most out of the book. And this is called My Molecules Are Revolting. The molecules that make me up and I don't get on too well together. But so this is what they had to say to me one day. Walt Whitman said to me the other day, I am large, I contain multitudes. When you die, the universe asks, can I have my molecules back? Oh, the big bang of death. Sure, thanks for the loan. Wonder what we will be next, one molecule asks of another molecule. Who knows? The more articulate molecule answers. That's the beauty of it. The other molecule sniggers. This present formation has not been, shall I say, the most interesting. I wait for the molecules to shut up so I can get on with my life. For the moment, they are stuck with me, though they don't care for it. Talking molecules and a demanding universe. That's all I need. This is called regeneration. I went into a library and it was made of Scandinavian wood and the books were beautiful and everything. So when I sat in a chair, this is called regeneration. The chair I sat in, like a burnished throne, transforming itself back into what once it was, a tree, standing in a forest as the world wakes up. A table too morphs into its former state, the floor uprooting itself to stand with its fellows, books shedding their words, becoming leaves on those trees. My library now a forest, I at one with the trees. And this is the title poem. This is called The Fox, the Whale and the Wardrobe. I was 9 and my sister was killed in a very senseless bus crash bus stopped to let somebody off or on, and a drunk driver came around the corner and smashed into the back of the bus. I was on the telly, it said, bus crash, only one victim. But that was my sister. And I didn't want to be in the world anymore. I couldn't stand myself, I couldn't stand the world. And like Gerard Hopkins, when he was young, he was called Skins when he was young, and he used to climb to the top of the highest tree and frighten the life out of his companions. I also would climb to the top of the highest tree, but I would throw myself off. As you can see, I survived that. One time I was so fed up with my living, and I decided to put my head on the railway track, and it was a lovely sunny day. Somebody went by with a transistor radio going, life's great, life's grand, future all planned. And I got my head on the rail and it's singing. And I wait there for half an hour and it starts to rain and no train comes. And then after, it got really rainy then, and I got up and walked away. And just as I walked away, a train came by. And I thought, oh, damn it. So the moral of that is, do not commit suicide by train timetable. It doesn't always work. The other thing I used to do, my grief made me invisible to people. So I'd sit in a window just staring into space, and my auntie would come and go, Donall? Donall? Where is that boy? It would be about a foot away from her. And I was going, is she taking the piss or what? Surely she can see me. No, grief makes you invisible. And my uncle would come and be up at the top of the highest tree. And he said, Donall boy, where are you? And again, he wouldn't be able to see me. And I think the other thing I used to do was hide in the dark. And I went into my auntie's wardrobe and I pulled the darkness and all the clothes around me. So it's called The Fox, the Whale, and the Wardrobe. I hide from the world. I hide from your death. Hide in my auntie's wardrobe. Gather the darkness about me. Dissolve into the nothingness I have become. No one knows where I am. No one knows who I am. Not even me. My auntie's fox stole's beady eyes alive with death. Ah, little boy, you join us in this dark. My auntie's whalebone corset smelling evilly of pink plastic, its white bone escaping, poking me in the ribs. Welcome me to their land of the dead. Whale and fox show me their dreams, the seas and forests of their lives lived in the long ago. My sister's death haunts me all through the ages I have become. Here now in Porto, high above the Douro, I finally write out the sorrow of my life, I still hiding in a wardrobe in deepest, darkest Cork, or up above in the tallest tree I can find, the land like a map spread out before me. The fox and the whale join me in my darkness, more frightening than theirs. The seconds fading into nothingness, the moments rusted into place. Now somewhere in the future I could never have imagined, I return to the ruined cottage, trees piercing the roof's heart, invading the room of where I'd been, the old wardrobe still holding the clothes of the dead. Auntie's Sunday's best, uncle's smartest suit, rotten now, eaten by time. Oh, little boy, you've come back, the foxstole whispers in my ear. One eye missing, the corset nothing now but bone. And I cry for the death of summer, I cry for the death of them all, the fox and the whale joining in this darkness that could not have ever been envisaged. The little boy could never have imagined the man I have become. I come to comfort the 9-year-old I was, this 67-year-old self trying to make amends for all the pain he had to endure, crying to a heaven not willing to hear him. His tears, my tears, I gather in the darkness about me. I was talking to my friend Sham in India, and COVID had just begun. He's a twitcher, mad bird guy, and so we're talking about birds and COVID. So I wrote this for him. The tales told by birds. The civilization of the birds will prevail, and they will tell their eggs stories about how the humans nearly destroyed the earth, and how now they only survive in the stories that birds tell to frighten their little hatchlings, who don't really believe that such creatures could ever have existed. Buildings left to themselves as if humans had never been invented. Nature reclaims its domains, the animals return. A dinosaur takes the moving stairs. A pterodactyl hunts for bargains. This is called Coming Back to the World. It's my little girl. She grizzles down the stairs, each step a sob. I fell in sleep, she announces angrily. Oh, that's good, I tell her. It is not good. She chokes back the tears. I miss the world. Well, I smile, trying my best to placate her. When you fell asleep, I say. Yes, she cries. The world fell asleep too. So I didn't miss anything? I comfort her. Not a thing, I assure her. Good, she sniffles. I hate to miss anything the world does. And this is her too. I used to sing to her. Janice will attest that I sing all around the house. And she will also attest that I sing badly all around the house. It drives the poor woman mad altogether. And so I used to sing to my little baby old jazz standards. And so that, I mean, by the time she came to a toddler, she knew all these songs so well. So this is called Comes a Mousy. It's an old stand from the 30s. Comes a headache, you can lose it in a day. Comes a toothache, see the dentist right away. Comes love, nothing can be done. She wiggles her fingers, she wriggles her toes, tries to mouth the words. She gurgles in her cot, waves her head about, hits her mobile toys. I sing her old jazz standards from the first day of her life. From tiny tot to the toddler of now, she can join in and sing with relish and delight and demand of daddy. Sing me mousy, sing me mousy. Comes the measles, you can quarantine a room. Comes the mousy, you can chase it with a broom. Comes love, nothing can be done. Comes love. When my little one was a little one, I didn't write poetry, so lots of little memories are gone. But every so often, some memories wash up on the shoreline of my consciousness like little seashells of who she was. So I'm highly dyslexic, and I was always able to read an atlas, just look at places and dream of being there and all that. And Tilly was just the same. So this is called the map of who we are. All day long, her head stuck in an atlas. I want to be Argentina when I grow up. After dinner, she changes her mind. Is it okay to be France? At bedtime, she is tired of being land. I'm going to be the whole Pacific Ocean. Against the vastness of this, my child, I feel like a tiny, tiny island. I fall asleep by this little girl, or dreams off the map. Mm-hmm. And when I was first meeting this nice woman over here, I was thinking, oh God, I really like this woman. I don't know whether she likes me, so I was trying to camouflage the fact that I loved her. So this is called shh. I said, don't tell her. Like a tree hiding in a forest, like a leaf hiding in on a tree, like a river hiding in an ocean, like a wave hiding in a sea. I see you see through me and my carefully camouflaged love. This is people. I got a head injury, and for the past 20 years I've been in indescribable pain with through the nerves here. And people have often said, well, what's it like? And I was going, how to describe indescribable pain? Trigeminal neuralgia. Well, it's like being a T-Rex tamer in a run-down third-rate prehistoric circus and putting your head into its mouth and it all going Pete-Tong. Your headless body running around the ring, bleeding all over the sawdust. Yeah, I guess it's a bit like that. And this is called It's My Friend. Tilly would make everything her friend. She believed that everything was a living being, whether it was inanimate or not. And she'd take twigs to bed and say, it's my friend. And then she'd find a stone and that was her friend too. So it's my friend. It's Tilly's first football match. She watches the ball move amongst men as if it had a life of its own and laughs at the players chasing it. At half-time, numb fingers clasp a bovril. I ask her, well, what do you make of it all? I see myself reflected in her 3-year-old eyes. She smiles and says, I like the way the grass is. Oh, I say, in my adult way. She now down on her belly, eyeballing the grass at its own level, each blade a green individual self. Daddy, how, she inquires of me, many blades of grass? Yeah, I encourage her. Are they on a football pitch? I hazard a guess, 2,000,002. She likes the exactness of the fact, happy with her daddy's answer, trusts he's right down to the very last 2. I like grass, she announces. It's my friend, she smiles. This is called On the Other Side of Silence. You know the famous George Eliot quote from Middlemarch. If we had a keen vision and feeling of all ordinary human life, it would be like hearing the grass grow and the squirrel's heart beat, and we should die of that great roar which lies on the other side of silence. This is called On the Other Side of Silence. The war, I was so glad to get out of it alive, even if it was as someone else. Who I was died. It was the only way to survive. I became a stranger to myself. I'd been so scared I was going to die. Now I'm scared of being alive. I watched better men than me die so easily. I hated me for surviving. I still hear their laughter, how real they were, more realer than I. The dead stare at me silently, enjoying, envying me this life. Here, have it, take it, I scream at them. They stare at me silently. I feel as if I've cheated them out of their future. I got lucky, that's all. When I get to the bottom of the bottle, I put the screw top back on, trap them inside the bottle's emptiness. The passing midnight cars light up the dirty yellow walls. Wallpaper roses blossom out of the dark. I reach for the next bottle. They stare at me silently. I got lucky, that's all. And another poem about my wife. Oh. This is called, I've a terrible habit, I have to admit, of kissing Janice, don't I, love? And I've kissed you all over, haven't I? Yeah? In many various places.
Too much information.
And this is about this. It's called Of All the Kisses in All the World, and she has to walk smack bang into mine. I kissed you in Islip and Liss, and once again in Swatland, Shipton and Pershore. Wherever I kissed you, I only ever wanted to kiss you more. I kissed you in Amberley and Arundel. Once I kissed you in Swale and Sway. I kissed you all over in many various places that I cannot remember today. I only remember the kisses scattered all over England, refusing to fade away. And this is called The Bell Goes for the End of History. Her head all algebra, trigonometry and Heaney, and boys, boys, boys. Her mind crept nearer and nearer him, longing just to touch his. She watched a trickle of sweat make its way down his neck, imagined herself licking it off. It is the end of World War I, thank heaven for that. She watches him stretch, yawn, his name surrounded by doodle hearts and flowers. Her first poem, A Hymn to Him. She had eyes only for him. He had eyes only for Siobhan Winterson. She hated Siobhan Winterson. Oh my God, oh, he just looked past me. Oh please, oh please, oh please look at me. He doesn't give her a second look. She cries herself to sleep, dreams of him, requiting her unrequited love. Years later, 2 kids and a divorce later, hymn to him in a battered shoebox. She reads her 13-year-old self, sobs her heart out. And this is called I Am Amazon. Topless bather, one tanned proud breast, the other white scar. Unashamed of her solitary breast, I am Amazon, she proclaims. The next year, the other breast is lost. She bares her chest to all. Topless, breastless, she smiles at being alive. I offer myself to the sun, sans the emblems of woman. I spit in the cancer's face. Dressed now only in birdsong, caressed by song. This is called Shortcuts. I can count to 7, she announces proudly. Wow, I'm amazed that she couldn't count up the tree just the other day. Okay, I say, suck it to me. 7, she declares. Oh, and I finished all the book. wow, I wow again, seeing as she cannot as yet read a single sentence. Yes, she confirms, I've read all the full stops. This is called its own good self. No God, just the sweet rain blesses me with its own good self. A robin unaware that is my prayer, the miracle of sunlight playing with a kitten. Wind sings in a choir of trees, taking all the time in the world, evening strolls down the lane. And I'll end with this one. It's called I have a sort of on-off relationship with my poems. Sometimes I love them, sometimes they don't love me. And they say, oh my God, we're stuck in a Donall Dempsey poem. Why wasn't I born to be in a Brian Baker poem or something like that, a real poem? So this is called Don't Forget to Write. Okay then, I'll be off, says the poem awkwardly. Thanks for bringing me into being, it shyly says. Not really knowing how to say goodbye. Think nothing of it, I hear myself say in a blasé way. Me at a loss for words. Funny that. Sad we have to go our separate ways. Well, my time here is done, the poem almost cries, but doesn't. Tears in its eyes, tears that can never fall. I kiss it with my voice, the many-headed audience all the ears. Make me proud, I'll whisper to it as it leaves my mouth. Who is that masked poem? The audience gasp. I blow the poem a kiss, the audience thinks it's for it. Don't forget, the poem throws over its shoulder, now very, very far away, to write.
Thank you.